So I'll just need to record our session. Anyway, I actually met my class earlier, the other section. So I can actually download the video and upload it to my channel, and then I can send this later, to your BB Ultra. And also I have also video. I have also done the video recording of the topics from week 5 to week 8 already. So later on, I'm gonna make it viewable to you. Okay. But for now, let me get this straight because we don't have any more time. Like we already missed 30 minutes, I guess, of our session today. So, and I don't want to also squander your time because I am pretty much sure you have also allotted uh, your time to any other else. Okay. So right now, yeah, I'm gonna upload this one later on, but let me get this straight now. So for the module 2, the focus of our topic would be relating to linear data structures. So in the module 1, we had this I introduced to you the linear searching, linear searching algorithm, on how really it is parang it slows the process in terms of searching a specific value. Now in But that's not the problem all the time in linear data structures. In fact, linear data structures can be also a good algorithm in terms of adding data to it. Like for an instance, if you're going to add data to in a linear manner, all it needs to do is just it's going to append the data whenever there is a new data coming in at the end of the list. And that makes it a constant value in terms of asymptotic notation or a big O notation if we are going to really calculate the complexity of the algorithm. So it's really basically a constant value of 1. Now that's it's O of 1. So meaning it's with just a snap of a finger, it's really fast. However, the problems can be problematic in a latter part because it will really take time for you to in terms of searching for a specific data, because the data are or the elements are placed in a linear manner in a contiguous part of your memory. Then the problem that may occur is whenever you look for a data to be removed, when you look for a data to be searched, or when you are going to traverse the data from the beginning up to the end. So that's basically the problem of linear data structures. So yeah, I mean, in as computer science, we have to really we cannot really provide solutions to all of the problems. What we can just do is to minimize the time now allotted for the algorithm to execute its procedure. So, and sometimes we cannot get rid of this kind of situation, and the only thing we can do is apply different algorithms to it. So this time I'm going to introduce to you different dynamic algorithms. I mean, uh, because of the drawbacks that has been in the array usage. Now, I mean the pitfalls of using an array, that because it's fixed, because every time we set a value to an array, it will be always like that, and there's no opportunity to actually make it grow or make it shrink in terms of its size or its capacity. So with that limitation of an array, that is why programmers opted to create another algorithms that can be used by us in relation to the efficiency of our programs. So now allow me to create a oops, yeah. Can you guys see my screen? Can someone at least confirm? Hello? Hello, people? Yes, okay, thank you. So, i-compress ko lang yung topic ha. Anyway, I'll just upload the session that we had in my other class. And then also, don't you worry because I provided a learning materials for that. I made it. I made my it no. I made myself. Then there's also video recording of the topic per week. Now, sige, let's have here a list. Guys, if you have questions, please you can actually write it in our chat box, I guess, and or you can you can ask question using your audio just in case. Anyway, so now let's talk about these algorithms. So in Python, I'm pretty much sure you have known or you're familiar with or you're familiar of list, you're familiar of tuple, you're familiar of sets, you're familiar of dictionary. Now, linear list algorithms in Python. So it's almost the same to what we are going to discuss here in Java. In fact, that's where Python derived the list algorithms, no, from Java, which was derived from C++ and derived from C. So this time, the because of those things, no, na that the programmers have seen as its parang problems or issues in arrays, they created these algorithms. So first algorithm that I need to discuss first is before I'll go to the algorithm that we will focus on for this week. Let me discuss first uh, the the sim pinaka-simple na algorithm in Java or dynamic algorithm in Java. By the way, I have seen I have seen from your assessments, no, from formative. Actually, I when I scanned through it, each one of it, nakita ko may mga other students that were already or that have been already using it, and I don't know if it was really theirs or if it was taken from the internet. So maybe much better no if they do it they did it by themselves. So if just in case na hindi, so it's okay. But I have seen a lot of parang solutions already that were made of this kind of that were parang that took advantage of dynamic algorithms. So in Java, there is this what we call in the hierarchy of the classes. So there's object as its super parent, and every time we created a class, it actually inherits the property of the object. So it's in a similar manner. There is also hierarchy of the list algorithms in Java. So the super parent of all list algorithm is list. Okay, so that's actually the list. That is why every time you created let's say you create an object of the list, let's say for an instance we have here list is equal to new uh like this, and then array list. So you can do like this, no? Let's just import this list from util, not from sun or out. So this list algorithm is actually the super parent. If we are to talk about the object-oriented principles, there are four pillars of OOP. Now we have encapsulation, which what actually we did last module one. We created ADT, which is the implementation of an encapsulation, and we have in in another principle of OOP is inheritance. No, this, the ability of a class to inherit property of another class, and that's one of the good things about this programming languages which has OOP concepts, because we it allows us to share common properties between between these classes that we're working on. So right here, the list is actually the super parent of all list algorithms, particularly array list. So they have array list, vector, stack, queue, linked list, and many more. Now, instead of we are going to use the list, we're just going to use explicitly array list. So I don't know if you've heard of this, but array list is one of the, I don't mind this one. Later, I'm going to discuss what is the purpose of that. RList is it's a built-in class. It's a built-in ADT in Java, under Java, that you tell along with linked list, vector, and all other list algorithms, which you can actually use for storing data, for manipulating data. Like you can add, you can edit, remove data from it, and it's almost the same to array, only that the size or the capacity of this can can shrink and can grow. So every time you add, it will just grow. Every time you will remove data from it, it will just shrink its value. So now let's say we have here array list. So by the way, if you can notice, yeah, object tama na yan. If you can notice, there are some of you who still did not get what's the purpose of this one. New means you actually instantiated an object in Java, which is in some cases, this is what you also did in PHP, in C Sharp, or even in .NET, and C and C++. But in the case of Python, like you don't really do it this way. Okay, so with this one, this is a constructor of array list. This would mean that when array list is created, it's created as public. Anyway, I discussed it in the previous session, in the kanina na klase. So, parang reverse engineer ko yung array list, uh, only for you to at least understand why there is a need to really do this. Java actually automatically recognize default constructors, which are in this case sa ADT or sa data structure, we call it as creator. Now, every time you create a Java class, automatic yan siya my constructor or my creator. So, and that is what you will use in creating object for your class. Okay. So now, whenever you create an object of that class, if in case you you forget to instantiate your object, your Java will just give you a null pointer exception. So every time there is an occurrence of null pointer exception, that means you haven't instantiated the object. Okay. So now let's have here some of the methods that we can use out from creating array list. So we have add object. Yeah, so here I also explained this earlier, that the name of the method or the operation is add, and then it has one parameter, which is object. So it can accept anything like number, string, character, double, and it returns true or false, because the way it is created is it's specified as boolean. So it returns a value true or false, and the name of the class is array list. So most likely, if you can check, ito yung mga classes niya that is belong to. So let's say for an instance, array list, array list, array list, all of these are in the array list. But in the case of get class, this is what I have told you, the super parent or the parent of all classes is object. In that case, may mga other methods din dito na hindi originally from array list. That would mean na itong si object is may mga methods that are inherited by the array list class. So we have actually 1, 2, 3, and then 4, even the weight, now 5 and 6. And there's also abstract collection, there's also collection. But most likely majority of it are originally from array list. And then also you can see here the Java doc comments without even looking at any book or in a particular website. You can just check on the what they call this one, documentation part, and then you can, if you're able to understand it, then you can use it appropriately. So parang it's our guide all throughout kung paano gamitin ang isang method. Okay, so all of this are the operations or methods under array list. So we can actually try one. Let's say for an instance, this one we have here, let's say Apple, and we have here another one. Uh, let's say two. Yeah. So you can have multiple elements, I mean multiple objects, like this is a string object, this is an integer object. You can even put here a decimal object or even a character object. Yeah. So let's say for an instance, so that makes it the array list as polymorphic. That is what we call polymorphic object. So comes from the principle number 3, which is polymorphism. No, polymorphism. Poly means many, morphe means forms, ability of a class to have many forms. So that's principle number 3 in OOP. So now, our most of the ADTs and most of the built-in classes in Java are implementing, parang nag-i-implement siya ng mga principles ng OOP. Ayan, Kuya Austin. Oh, kita ka. Okay. So now, actually I'm dito ako sa sa bahay ng kapatid ko because sorry for that. Anyway, let's go back. You go out, go out, go out. So now, going back to where we left off, ito yon. What makes it polymorphic is that you have method. I mean, the array list has overloaded methods. So when we talk about overloading methods, that's two properties of polymorphism, no, sa OOP. So, and again, as I've told you, why we touch the OOP topics here, because the data structures and algorithm in terms of creating ADTs are a full-blown OOP. Now, supposed to be may knowledge kayo about OOP. So yun, no, method overloading. Yung method overloading, yung signature niya is parang it has the same method with same behavior. May isa is method overriding, which is runtime polymorphism in other books. That is same name but with the same behavior. Yung isa, same name with different behaviors. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na method overloading. That an array list has two add operations which requires one parameter and the other one requires two parameters, which are the index and the object element. This would mean that if we're going to read the documentary of the array list in the add, this polymorphic method na add na isa, is that we can store or insert data to a specific index, and then the next argument or parameter is actually a value that you are going to insert to that specific index. Example, if we're going to insert, let's say, this is index 2, index 0, 1, and we're going to insert index 1 to, banana to index 1, then you can just do like this. So let's try, and let's have here, let's say, object. So this will allow us to view the list or the elements of our array list. And then let's have another one here, which is, let's see if the banana element is actually inserted in the list along with yan, apple. So as you can see, the two shifted going right because banana is inserted at the second element. This, which is in the same case as sa list doon sa Python is it's the same. Okay? So, yan. Okay? Now, there are actually a lot of methods that we can use from this, no? So, example, if you want to like remove, so yung remove polymorphic methods din siya. May remove via index, may remove via object. So, yung index is specific na index 2, index 3. Yung object naman is, let's say, apple, banana, or something like that. So, you can also do a clear. Ito yung clear. Ito yung mostly ginagamit na, just like what we did in the water tank, no? It will clear all the it will clear all the elements of our object. So we have here also the get, no? If you want to access data based on a specific index to our from our array list, you can actually do that. Then you have here set. This would mean that you can edit a certain value when it is found. Pag nakita niya na may value na like this, you can actually edit it or change the value based on a specific index. Then you can also do something like the same with the string, no? Yung index of, yung and many more, no? So these are some of the methods that you can have here, even size. So pwede natin ma-determine yung size. So by the way, so since yung size, this one is an int type, this means this returns the size of the number of elements of the array. Even if you called it from here, it will not display unless you are going to put it in an output statement. So kailangan siya may output statement. So let's say lagay natin siya dito. We have here something like size. So we have here size of our what do you call this one? So may mga nakita akong solutions na gumagamit ng array list already. So let's say for an instance we have here, yan. So size 0, then the size is, right now we have 5. Okay? So these are the few things or few operations that we can use in our array list as a dynamic array. Now, there's another list algorithm that we can use, and this is still under java.util, and this is vector. So ito namang vector, before I forgot, yung kanina pala nakalimutan ko. So let's say you have here, di ba may parang in between this delimiter there is an E earlier. E stands for element. If you guys want to like only manipulate or parang maintain integer values, pwede nyong lagyan siya ng integer values there. Or if ever you have like encapsulated a class, let's say person, you can have here person, if just in case you have the person class, no? So pag may encapsulate kayo na person and there are setters and getters, you can actually use that instead here because it's the element. Anyway, we don't have person or we don't have any. So this time, my wrapper class na integer. So this would mean na, okay, so I will just let you cover this sa inyong OOP. Anyway, as you can see here or notice, yung apple and itong mga 5.0, because it is float or in double, and this is in character, and this is also in string, this means na hindi siya accepted. The only thing na accepted is ito. So if you want to make this na string lang yung tanggapin niya, sana all tinanggap. So this would also mean na ang apple and banana are the ones only accepted. Never the rest kay hindi. So if you guys want this object na magtanggap siya ng kahit sino, sana all tanggapin kahit sino. So we'll just use this as like this. Okay? Yan yung behavior ni array list. So it's actually the same sa vector. Okay? So si vector naman is also under java.util na library. Okay? So what's the error here? There's should yeah, wala palang error. So, yan, vector. If you can notice guys, walang nabago or walang even error even if we change array list to vector, even if like we completely scrap this one. Okay? So, walang nagbago, it still works the same. Meaning, if I'm going to run this one, this is still does its purpose. So meron din siyang size, it can store, it can do this like that, and so on and so forth. The same with what array list can do. So if we try to look at it, tingnan natin yung mga methods ng vector. So ito, vector, vector, vector. So these are originally from vector. Yan. So may mga vector, then mayroon ding object, then collection, and so on and so forth. So magkapatid lang yan si arraylist and vector. Only that may mga behaviors na andun kay arraylist na wala kay vector or vice versa. Because the programmers will not create such a thing na walang differences sa kanilang dalawa. In fact, that's the idea of inheritance, di ba, right? Whenever you create something out of an existing class, make sure that you have a unique property of that derived class or that subclass that inherits the property of the other class. So, making it na parang i-innovate mo yung class na nag-inherit sa isang superclass. So, that's what happened actually in vector and array list. So, hindi po pwedeng na-create si vector or si array list without unique properties of each. So, ano yung unique property ng vector na wala kay array list? Actually, these two algorithms may differ in terms of parang using the memory. And later I'm gonna show you. But before we proceed, vector has this has method na wala kay vector, particularly itong capacity. Ay, si arraylist pala, wala si arraylist, but si vector meron. So example, capacity. Then we'll have here like object that capacity. So yan, if I'm going to go back to array list instead of a vector, I'm going to import back the array list. So this method is not actually originally from the what they call this one from array list. This is only present in the vector na dynamic list. So what's the capacity? Yung capacity is ito yung magre-return ng current capacity of our for our what they call this one, our vector or our array list. However, we cannot do that in array list. So what else? May mga other methods pa ng array list, vector na wala din si array list. So let's say currently may 10 capacity siya. If ever nalagyan mo ito ng 5, ang current capacity ng vector will be 5 instead of 10. Initially, 10 siya. Probably sa constructor niya, kasi may parameterized constructor ang vector, the same with array list, if you don't specify, automatic 10 yung elements niya or capacity. But if you specify na 100, this would, of course, give us a 100 capacity for our vector. The same sa ginawa natin ng water tank na pwede tayong makaano ng 1,000 liters, pwedeng by default 500 liters or 5,000, depending on what the user will do, no, or how the user will create the tank. So it's actually the same here. So sa array list din, pwede tayo makaspecify ng either 5, but there's no such thing as parang method na would know kung ilan yung capacity ng array list kasi wala siyang ganito. So in fact, kung titingnan natin, this would have, actually wala akong nakita so far na di-display ng current capacity of kung si array list ang gamitin natin. Pero kung si vector, kaya natin yan. Okay? So these are some of the things, no? Ito yung mga methods na andito kay vector na wala kay array list. What else? Itong ito sila ganito, first element, I guess wala yan sa array list. Ito sila last element. So may is empty din tayo, no? Actually, array list and vector both have is empty. And then set size, what else? So, tingnan natin kung ano pa meron. I guess ito tingnan natin, si first element. So, first element, so vector has capability to determine first element, although kaya din niya ni ArrayList, but iba lang yung method niya. Iba lang yung ways niya. So, hindi niya kaya. So, pero if you're using ArrayList, pwede mong gamitin yung parang object that get, syempre, you can always do like this, no? It's something like that. Anyway, if you use ArrayList, but for vector, I guess meron din siyang get. Let's try to change this one. So meron din siyang first element, meron din siyang get. Kasi nga, they come or they came in from same classes, parang they are actually siblings. So ano yung properties na andun kay vector ay kay ArrayList, meron din si vector pero may part lang na wala si ArrayList na meron si vector, which is in most cases ganyan din yung nangyayari kahit magkapatid kayo because yung isa medyo talented, yung isa may ganitong talent, yung isa super talented, all of the parang talents and skills meron siya tapos yung dalawa parang wala. So yun yung idea ng array list and vector. Pero yung algorithm niya really talaga is, may question pa, sorry. Sir, pwede ba ma-manipulate sa user ang list through input, sir? What do you mean by that? Like, Ablay. Ano meron, sir? Anyway, si Ablay sabi niya, may question siya about pwede ma-manipulate sa user ang list through input, sir. But you're asking me a question if ever na hindi freehand yung mga inputs, like for an instance, I'll get it from the user and then I'll store it to list, to array list or vector. Yun yung question mo. Yes, you can always do that. Pero hindi ko na lang siya ginawa kasi again, parang I already assume na parang alam nyo yan. Parang nag-assume na ako na alam nyo yan dapat. Pero anyway, if that is the case na hindi or baka wala or hindi talaga alam, like let's say for an instance, you want to store value to it, let's say data, hanap ka tayo ng data. So you can have from pwede sa G-option pane, then in fact, pwede kang magawa ng pwede ka na magawa ng parang isang system using only array list and vector. Kasi powerful itong ano to? Itong classes na dynamic list algorithm. At tapos simple lang siya. Now ngayon, let's say input. So pwede yung data na ilagay mo lang yan dyan siya. Pero syempre, parang mas maganda if you have the options, just like what we did in the water tank, diba? May option ka to add, to even edit, or remove, or search. So dapat may menu ka to do that. Yung parang ganun sa ginawa natin sa array list. Actually, sa OOP, dapat ito yung gagawin ninyo. No? Isa ito sa mga gagawin nyo before para mas maintindihan nyo yung idea ng object-oriented principles from using only built-in mga data or data structures na implemented by an OOP principles, then before you can create something na parang which is actually yun yung idea ng ADT. So yes, tama. You can do putol-putol ko. So akong kamot na anto speaker sa akong liog. Putol-putol akong audio. Kayo, putol akong audio. How about now? Putol pa rin. Okay na. Sige, thank you. Baka hindi stable ang connection nila dito. Yeah, sinamahan ko si mama ko sa ano, nagpa-check, follow-up check-up kami. Anyway, yun, pwede. So, this is what I can do for now muna. If I just have like ample time really, I can share many things to you, no? Pero hindi kakayanin kasi. Anyway, ito yon. So ito yung sample ng getting input from a user. Pwedeng mag-delete, remove. Basta yung may menu or option ka to choose from, or pwedeng mag-choose yung users natin. But this one is not a full-blown system, no? Anyway, so let's proceed. Let's proceed. Ah, Tapos isang ganito class, yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina or earlier that wait for a while lang. Yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na ano yung difference ni ArrayList or vector in terms of paano niya hinahandle niya yung mga data. Actually, they differ in this, no? Bibigyan ko kayo ng scenario. So, gawin muna natin na ArrayList yung gagamitin natin. So, of course, we don't have the capacity yet. We don't have the first element. So, these are the things na parang wala sa kanya. Actually, whenever you create or you instantiate an object for your ArrayList, whenever wala, automatic yung size niya or yung capacity in ArrayList is automatically 10 yan siya. If ever na mag-set ka ng let's say 6, so automatic 6 yung capacity niya, pero we cannot prove that to ArrayList. Later on ma-prove natin niya kay vector. Now, yung ArrayList kasi meron siyang ganitong logic or parang algo na whenever yung current capacity niya will exceed to the current capacity. Let's say you keep on adding data na parang all of the initial capacity has been used up already. So let's say aabot niya siya sa 7, that's more than 6. So mag-grow siya by 50%. So ang growth niya is by 50%. So from 6, it will grow by 50%. Pag aabot na siya ng 7, it will become 9. So I'm gonna prove it to you. So ito na lang, 4 na lang natin para this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pagka 5, tingnan natin kung mag-grow ba talaga yung hindi. Yeah, we cannot prove this to our list anyway. Kasi nga wala tayo, we cannot get the capacity. I don't know if we can, if merong may mga ways to do that in our list, but let's go to the vector. Pero this is one thing for sure, yung sa our list, it will grow by 50%. So mag-a-add up lang siya ng 50% of that current capacity, making it now from 4, pag lalampas na siya ng 4, it will become 6 now. From 6, pag maglalampas na siya by 6, let's say 7, it will grow by, yung 7 na naman yung ano niya, let's say 7, 50% of 7 is 3 or probably 4. So 7 plus 4, probably 11 na yung capacity ni ArrayList. So yun yung gagawin ni ArrayList. So sa vector, mapoprove ko yan. Kasi sa vector, whenever mag-declare ka ng 4, yung algorithm niya, it is, paglampas na siya ng 4, let's say beyond 4 na, 5 na, or 5 na yung current capacity niya, it will double its size. So parang magmo-multiply siya. Sorry, size. Dodoble yung size niya. From 4 times 2, it will become 8. So try natin, kasi ma-prove natin yan dito, by, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, may isang additional tayo dito sa banana. Tingnan natin yung capacity is if naging 8 na siya from 4. So first capacity natin must be 4, and then next capacity natin should be or must be 8 na. Okay? Wait. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Ayun. So, I will add one more. Okay. Object that add. Sorry. That add is anything lang. So, tingnan natin if it wait. What happened? I guess yung kasi we'll need to have the inputs. Inaantay niya yung input na gi-ask ni Ablaya. Kaya pala, it does not proceed to any. Kaya pala, parang may lacking. Anyway, so if we do like this, let's say, KLC, huwag na natin input yung iba. Kasi, ayan. So, yan. As you can see, tanggalin natin itong data. Para diretso na siya. So if you can see, nag-8 na yung capacity niya, no? So current capacity now is 8. Tingnan natin, pag maglampas na ng 8, let's say 9 na, tingnan natin if mag-double yung size niya by 2, which is yields to 16 na dapat. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tingnan natin. Pag abot dito, 6, 7, 8. Tingnan natin if yung capacity ng vector will now become 16. Kulang pa siya isa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kulang pa siya isa. Kasi index man, no? 0 index. So 0 to 8. 9, which means 8. Ika 8. Yun, 16. Ito. So 4, 8, 16. So yun yung ways ng vector compared to array list. Anyway, if you want to explore more about array list and vector, that's may mga programmers would opted to use vector rather than array list, or array list rather than vector, because sabi nila array list is good for threading and multi-threading kasi nakasynchronize siya compared to vector. So may mga ganun na mga ano sila. Kasi as a computer science, it's not enough na gagamit ka lang ng isang library or concept without knowing it na hindi pala siya maganda, or baka in the future magsasacrifice yung system na ginawa mo. Kasi as a com sci student, you are responsible to whatever na mga algorithm that you have used or data structures that you have applied to your program. Kasi importante na as a computer science na alam mo yung ginawa mo and why you intend to use it over the others. So yun yung pinaka ano sa ComSci. No, we are the creator, we are not just the implementer. We create and then we test it if ever, and prove that mathematically our solution is really good compared to the others. Because again, whether you IT ComSci or any course or in the field of IT and engineering, we can all provide solutions sa mga problems. But the thing there is, sino yung solution na magsusustain yung speed and yung quality is hindi magdi-decline over a period or a certain time na medyo konti lang yung time, no? May mga ganun kasi, no? We can expand the speed, we can still parang magsusustain niya yung speed even up to many years. So that's one of the things that we consider as a computer science. Kaya nga marami tayong mga experiments to really test if this algorithm is good or if it's not. Na good lang sa baka ganito pero we would sacrifice the RAM. Pero may mga ganun, like to speed up or fine-tune our sa database, no, our query. Sige, I'll use subquery rather than join statements, pero magsasuffer din if hindi naka-normalize, pwedeng mag-suffer yung storage mo or yung disk mo rather than i-normalize mo yung database mo kahit na para hindi mag-suffer yung storage mo, but the one that will suffer is your RAM naman. So you have to meet halfway. So may mga ganun na mga situations. Anyway, that's a lot of ano na to take, of process to take. So this time, ito yung differences ni array list and vector. But this is not what we are going to discuss today. So this is just a beginning. Okay? Actually, there's one algorithm that we are going to focus, and that is the family of list algorithms, or kapamilya lang din ni vector and array list, which is called as a stack algorithm. So, a stack algorithm is also under java.util pa rin siya. Okay? So, yan java.util.stack. So, kapamilya lang din yan niya. However, sige, tingnan natin if kapamilya lang ba niya, sir? Yes. If you can notice, we just change the object to stack. So, lahat ng nag-work kay vector is, it also works the same to stack. So, tingnan natin muna yung mga questions. Baka may mga questions. Okay na. Wala nang questions. Sige. So, yan. We can now erase all of this. So, ito. Erase na natin ito. And we'll focus on this stack. So, si stack, guys, is last in, first out. So, live po. Why there is a need to study stack algorithm? Because this stack algorithm has been used by many memory or early operating systems. In fact, yung early memory management natin is stack algorithm. Even yung Java, gumagamit ng stack algorithm. Kahit i-search nyo pa, what are the two memories of Java? No? Ano yung two memories na ginagamit ng Java? It uses stack and heap memory. So, isa sa memory handling or memory management na ginagamit si stack by the Java. So, last in, first out. So, maraming application yan. Like for an instance, if you can notice, they have a pile of bowls, pile of glasses, yung mga last in, first out, no? When you insert data to it, at the top, the one that can be removed is yung recent na ini-insert mo. Example, yung example ko kanina is yung parang lalagyan ng shuttlecock, no, sa badminton or sa tennis ball, 'di ba, yung cylinder, whenever you insert object to there, the first that you will get is yung last na i-insert mo. So, last in, first out. So, may dalawang operations yan si stack as an ADT. So, two operations. Okay, yung isa is, one is push and the other one is pop. Okay. So, ito lang yung two basic operations ng stack, push and pop. Okay. So, yung push, it inserts data onto the stack and then removes or delete data from the stack. Tapos, saan mangyayari ang operations? It always happen at the top. It always happen at the top. So, sa top, ang insertion, mangyayari siya sa top, alias, ano ba to? Ang mali ang keyboard. I should buy new one. Always. Always. Okay. And then yung pop rin is mangyayari din siya sa top. So remove, add ka sa top, mag-delete ka sa top. Okay? So not same case doon sa vector and array list. So ito yung imo-model natin or isi-simulate natin to create ADT. Okay? Para we would understand better data structuring. So now, pwede natin i-erase ito. This is just to prove to you na si stack and array list and vector are just family. Okay? So, tingnan natin yung mga methods na andito kay stack. Other than that, may vector siya na parang inherited from vector. Ito. So, add. So, halos vector yan siya. Tingnan nyo. vector, vector, vector. Sabi ko sa inyo may object and we cannot get rid of object, even string, integer, lahat nag-inherit yung mga wrapper class na integer and string, nag-i-inherit din yan kay object. So, pero tingnan natin yung push. Push is originally from stack. So, tingnan natin, pushes an item onto the top of the stack. This has exactly the same effect as add element. So, pareho daw sa add element. So, ito yung originally from stack. So, whenever we insert item to our stack, push tayo ng mga items, 5, 8. Pwede rin ito string ha, pero let's work on with numbers na lang muna. And then, let's say, i-display natin dito si stack or yung value ni stack. And let's say rather, mag-remove tayo ng isang value. So, syempre, tingnan natin yung pop. Anong sinabi niya dito is, removes the object at the top. So, i-return niya yung object. So, pwedeng ilagay down, since mag-return siya ng object, hindi siya void, pwede nating ilagay ito sa print statement or doon sa show message dialog or anything, basta print statement. Then we can say, remove from the stack, something like that. So, yeah, tingnan natin kung ma-remove ba yung last element, which is supposed to be 1. So, yeah, 1 is removed, removed from the stack. So, when you call two pops, green-minded, when you call two operations na pop, pwedeng yung wala na noon ko. First is 1 will be removed and then 9 will be removed. So kung dalawang pops, 2 pops, mari-remove yung 1 at saka 9. So pag in that way natin siya nire-remove, parang medyo hindi siya complicated or challenging to trace. Pero whenever kasi na parang yung along the way you insert, merong kang gi-call dito na pop, and let's say may gi-call ka din dito na pop. So things will be different kasi let's say dito may 12, tapos dito may 12 and 5 ka na, which is easy lang man siya to trace, but this time we'll have 12 na kasi wala na si 5. Iniwan ka na ni 5. So this time naman may 12, may 8 ka, and then this one here, meron ka na lang 12. So let's say nag-pop ka rin. So one way to trace it is like this, di ba? So meron ka ng nothing, no? Null na. So yung yung top mo, probably top mo isa na lang, parang 0 na ang top mo dito. Top is equal to 0. Top mo dito is equal to 1. Here kay 0, 1 dito 0, dito ulit 2, 1, then dito 0, then dito negative 1 kasi null na siya. Parang wala nang laman yung stack mo. So, and then dito, may 9 ka na, then dito may 1 ka na. So, currently, ito yung laman na lang ng stack mo, 9 and 1. However, nag-pop ka ng isa, 1, yung natira na lang supposed to be dapat 9. Tingnan natin pa, if 9 pa. If 9 na lang talaga. So, yeah, 9. So, na-remove na yung, because you have a series of pops, wala na yung mga other elements inserted to it. So yan lang, that is how simple it is, no, yung paggamit ng stack. So this is in the case of kung IT ka lang, kung IS ka, not IT ka lang, but kung IS ka, IT ka, this is the case of those who are taking IT. Enough na for them to at least understand how the stack algorithm works. So they focus on how rather than the what, no? So pwede na ito sa kanila. Okay? Kasi they are just going to use. But unlike us, mga computer science, we don't settle on just learning how things works or how the object works. We should understand the internal implementation of it. So we are going to simulate the stack as well as, or we call it uh, we call it reverse engineer. No, we will reverse engineer the stack the way it is created by following the algorithm push and pop. So gagawa tayo ng sarili natin stack, and we started by creating number one, stack. Okay? So, asan yung cellphone ko? Wait, i-off ko yung cellphone plus. So, gagawa tayo ng sarili nating stack, ADT. Ayan. So, this time, may ADT stack na tayo, and then, we're going to create two operations na push and pop. So, without using this one, so kung tatanggalin natin ito, of course, mag-e-error na yan si push and pop. Yeah, by the way, other napakita, I don't know if napakita ko na ba sa inyo, but you have here mga is empty, capacity, yung yan empty. So may mga methods or operations na ganyan si stack originally. So yun yung isi-simulate natin dito. But this time we're going to focus on two operations. So first is gagawa tayo ng push and pop. Sige. So let's have here public void. Ano yung sabi ni push dito? Yung sa push daw, sorry. Tingnan natin ano yung push is an item. Sa kanya is object. So it returns an object. Sa atin na lang is i-void natin para hindi tayo completely nag-copy. Pero pwede rin natin siya mag-return ng object. But this time, i-void natin siya. So public void push, and then gawa tayo dito, data. Yan. And then the other one is, yung isa is pop. So, ano yung sa pop? Yung pop is object rin. Sa atin is integer lang muna yung i-work on natin. So this time we have here pop, and this does not have any parameters. So ang gawin natin dito is, by the way, mag-return muna tayo ng 0 kasi we don't have any return statement for now. So gawa tayo ng Java doc comment. So i-explain natin dito na this operation inserts data onto the stack at the top. Sabi na, ganyan na lang. And then, yung parameter natin data, and then lagyan natin ng author, yung pangalan natin, if you want to, yung gusto nyo pangalan, para maging customized and personalized na sa inyo talaga, and no one can steal it away from you. No? Sana all. Okay? And then, gawa din tayo dito for pop. Explain din natin dito, this operation removes element from the stack at the top. Oops, at the top. Ayan. So yung return niya dito is yung element. Pwede. Lagay na natin, ma-return yung element. If you want to put author, it's up to you kung lalagyan nyo pa or hindi. Actually, yan yung this is what we can benefit out of creating what they call this one, in Java doc comment. So may operation na tayo na push and pop, but we don't have the logic yet. So punta tayo sa isang class, and then we're going to test our stack. Tayo ng main, and then let's copy yung kanina. Copy natin ito. So this time, paste natin dito. Okay. And then, we're going to use the stack that we have created. Object man ito, no? So, object equals new stack. So, ito yung stack na ginamit natin not from this one. No? So, ito yung plain na ADT na ginawa natin. In fact, whenever, para ma-prove ko sa inyo na we call it directly from this ADT, is nag-iba na yon na, di ba? This operation inserts data onto the stack at the top, parameters, data, author is my name. So, yan yung that's because of the Java document that we have, no, defined. So sa pop, tingnan natin, this operation removes the element from the stack at the top, returns the element. So now, ito yung gagawa tayo ng operation, gagawa tayo ng logic for push and pop. Kasi of course, obviously, we cannot display or we cannot, this might not work kasi wala tayong logic dito, no? Wala tayong business logic na ginawa for push and pop. So now, gagawa tayo ng, by the way, this is sa ADT, ito yung tinatawag natin na transformers. Ayan. So transformers na operation. So gagawa muna tayo ng mga data attributes. Okay, data members or data field of the class. So private int, let's say array. And then let's have capacity, and then let's have top. So ito yung mga basic data attributes ng isang stack. So now, gagawa tayo ng, kasi as you can see, may creator siya. So default constructor ang stack. So gagawa natin siya ng isang what we call this one, parang dito tayo maglalagay ng initial capacity ng stack natin. So let's sample, lagyan natin na yung initial capacity ng stack natin would be 5, and our array would now have an initial capacity of 5 based on the capacity that the program, itong program na magsiset. So siya ang magsiset. So in other books, yung sa other books might be 0, baka makita nyo sa internet or sa mga web resources, may 0 as their top. Pero most likely yung sa mga published na book is usually -1. So kasi ang -1, this would indicate na -1 means empty yung stack natin, walang laman. Okay? So this is now our creator. Okay? So ito yung creator na part sa ADT natin, creator. So this is default. Kung if we look at it in an OOP way, default constructor ito. But if we look at it in a data structure na way, this is creator talaga, no? Constructor. So pwedeng lagyan natin ito ng parang this is default constructor which is used to initialize the stack objects. Parang ganun lagay natin. Tapos lagay tayo dito ng at capacity at capacity is set to 5 para malaman ng user na ilan yung capacity na siniset if ever we don't set. Tapos let's say at top is by the way, this is just optional. Pwede nyo hindi gawin ito kasi mga comments lang ito. Okay? So top is set to -1. Just in case, no? So para alam ng user natin. So overload tayo para polymorphic yung stack natin. We're going to have here parang another capacity. So this time, the capacity will be based from the capacity set by the user. So that capacity equals capacity, and then okay na yan. Then capacity is set to whatever you want. So like 10, 11, depende sa gusto mo. Example, if we go back from here, then mag-create tayo ng object sa stack. So meron na tayong dalawang constructors dito or creator, yung default, ang sabi niya default constructor which is set to to initialize the stack, capacity is set to 5, and at top is set to -1. Yung isa naman, ito ay hindi default constructor, but ito ay pangungusap, joke lang. Ito ay parameterized constructor. So, parameterized constructor, if you want to set 100, so 100, pwede siya 100. So, parang yung ginawa natin ngayon is like array list or vector or mismong yung stack na sinisimulate natin na built-in from our class. So, this time, let's say mag-set tayo ng 10. Ayan. So, we can set, sabi dito na yung not set to 5. Wait. Ito. So, set to whatever you want. O, gano'n, whatever you want and set to -1. So, may creator na tayo ng stack. Meron na din tayong transformers. So, pwede gawa tayo ng observers later on. But this time, gawa natin ng business logic yung push. So, in order for us to store data to here, you can have like this, no? R top plus plus. So mag-i-increment yung top kasi from -1 dapat maging 0 siya in the first entry. So yung ibang book, nakita ko na instead of 0, hindi sila mag-store ng 0 as ng value sa 0 kasi dapat 1 na magsimula. Pero in the case sa gagawin natin ngayon, it will start from 0 kasi yung array will always start from 0 sa index. Lahat ng array, even list pa yan, dynamic list, even kahit anong structure pa yan, as long as base or derived from array, starts with 0 talaga siya. So, pwedeng ganun na pagka state or pwedeng ganito, top plus plus, and then you will just have to remove here the increment part or increment na delimiter. So, making it na top plus plus from -1, 0. So, yung first entry, first value will be stored to 0. So, every time you keep on adding or pushing value to the top, to the stack, the top will increment its size by 1, by 2, so on and so forth. So, yung sa pop naman, simple lang kasi kukunin lang natin dito is we'll have to get the current top and then just decrement the value by 1 and then return the value of the value that is removed from the stack. So itong return 0, pwede natin itong tanggalin. Okay? So now, tingnan natin if we're able to do push and pop. Pero maglalagay tayo ng isang observer para we would know kung ano nangyayari sa data natin. So example, so hindi na ayoko na lang maglagay ng ganito, no, ng what they call this one, ano tawag nito? Java document. So yung gagawin ko na lang is I would display the current elements of the stack. So in order for me to do that, I would need to pwedeng for each loop, pwede ring individualized loop using yung index, no? So then we'll have here I to the R dot length. So ito yung whenever you use the length, medyo hindi siya okay, pero sige, try natin para makita nyo ano yung result. So you have here say hold. So hold is just a third-party variable. So siya yung magko-concatenate ng value whenever it visits the element of the array. So then we'll return hold. Okay? So now, meron na tayong elements and so on and so forth. So let's say dito, sa hindi pa tayo mag-pop, tingnan natin kung may tingnan natin kung may elements na object that elements. So dapat 12 and 5 yung magdi-display. So 12, 5. Yan, 12, 5. Pero tingnan nyo, may 0, 0, 0, 0, which is dapat walang value. Okay? Ang sakit. Yung wala kang value para sa kanya. Anyway, so in order for us to get rid of those 0, kasi pag 1,000 yan, parang if you have only two elements tapos yung 98% ng stock mo is zero, which is supposed to be walang value yun. So you'll have to parang one way to make efficient algorithm is to using or to base your counting from or based on the top na value rather than yung length sa array, para kung ilan yung capacity ng ano mo ng not the capacity but kung ilan yung top, kasi yung top ang magre-recognize kung ilan na yung values mo, yun lang din yung loops na yun lang din yung execution ng loops mo rather than the entire capacity. So with that, if i-change natin siya with that single lang operation, we can actually eradicate the idea of displaying all those na walang values. Okay? So, yan. And then let's say dito, tingnan natin kung 12 na lang din ba ang matira. So, ayan, 12. So, that's it. Meron na tayong algorithm for stack and for pop. May observer na din tayo na elements. So, actually, pwede kayo maglagdag ng mga observers like public, Boolean is empty if you guys want to like explore more on this one. So paano natin malalaman na negative yung top, empty if it's -1, or yung iba pwede din gawin top is less than or equal to -1 depending on your algo. Kayo na bahala dyan. So yung may iba nag-question sa inyo about about sa formative assessment that yung insights, if they could sa water tank yun, how to gusto niya instead of true or false yung lalabas, gusto niya na string yes or no. So you can just do like this, no? Yeah, let's say this is empty, yeah, string, tapos this time ang i-return niya is yes or a no. So, pwede nyo gawin ito. So, yes or a no. So, with that, here, lagay tayo dito ng syso or G-option pane. Kayo na bahala. Okay, and then, lagyan natin dito empty. Tapos, object that is empty. Dalawa ito. So, may is empty ka, which is Boolean. Pwede mo yan lagyan ng Java document para you're able to explain it to your user. Tapos yung is is empty. Tapos now gawin nyo dito is, let's say, tingnan natin kung empty or not. Yeah, so let's run and true. So empty true, empty yes. So since yung stack natin may laman na 12.5, actually 12 na lang kasi nag-pop daw tayo. So empty is false, empty is no. It's like, yeah, the same. So I guess that's it. No, if you want to know yung capacity ninyo, you can actually just call get capacity. Actually, Java already recognized na may getter ka. Remember sa OOP, you must have learned right now as of this moment na every time you create a class, pag may data field and data members, yan siya. Like dito, automatic yan, mare-recognize ni Java na may getter ka at setter. Yung get capacity or set capacity. Actually, itong getter sa ADT or sa DSA, ang tawag natin dito, ito yung observer. Okay? So, pero sa OOP wise, this is what we call getter or mutator, ang tawag natin dito. So, if magawa ka ng set capacity, you want na magsiset siya ng capacity, my Java also recognizes that one, set capacity. So, in fact, by just calling set, automatic na yan maglabas. So, the same yan sa VB.NET or C#. So, now, this is transformer kasi it changes the state of the object. So sa OOP na naman, this is setter or this is No, this is mutator accessor ito. This is mutator. Baliktad. Sorry. So, mali. Erratum. So, yan, no? So, observer, transformers. So, this is ito, observer ito kasi it returns value. Usually kasi ang behavior ng observer magre-return siya ng value. Yung setter or transformer, void siya. Pero not all the time. Pwede din naman na yung push ko, gawin ko siyang, asan na yun? Yung push ko, gawin ko siyang string na if mag-push siya, it will return na successful. If it's not, it will return na not successful. Pwede ko din gawin yan. Pero it changes the object rather than, aside from it returns the value na it is successful or not. So actually you can customize your methods or operations sa ADT. Walang limit yan, no, to whatever you will do to your ADT, basta as long as it's appropriate and hindi naman siya far out sa gagawin mo na algorithm. So yeah, so far ito yung about stack algorithm. So last in, first out. So I have prepared a video recording for this one. Don't you worry, and this will be also uploaded in your BB Ultra for just a 100 pesos sent via GCash. Joke lang. So send ko ito later, and if you guys have questions, please do raise it now. My question? Jotars. Hotar. Si Hotar. Oh, perfect yata ito sa Lat 1 ito sa M1. By the way, just wait for my emails. No, may supposed i-email ako sa inyo pero I was away of town. I just arrived last night. Then may supposed i-email ako sa inyo regarding about your assessments. May mga assessments kasi na yung late submission na hindi ko pa na-check yung sa drive kasi the one that's I given priority is those that are submitted on time. Okay? May mga summative assessment din pala na parang nakasubmit pero walang file, so zero agad. Tapos may mga assessment na ito yung assessment pero iba yung nakalagay, yung lyrics, parang kanta yata rin ni Taylor Swift, iwan ko. So I send back to you if it's intended or may intentionally ba yon or unintentionally, I don't know. Basta I have every basta may problem or issue with your submissions, may reply ako ng messages, no, for you to, especially formative. Pero pag summative, wala nang changes yan, no. Whatever your grade in the summative, yun na yun. Sa formative, pwede pa. I'll just I'll just send you the email kasi importante na you would know para next module 2 hindi nyo nagagawin. Parang careful kayo sa mga sinasubmit ninyo. Anyway, do you guys have question? Mababa daw score niya sa summative. Tingnan daw natin, be. So far, oo, ang ano ba? Sa ComSci, medyo malalaki man scores ninyo. Especially sa you're actually good at writing programs na. Kunting push na lang siguro. Majority sa inyo medyo maganda yung paggawa ng algo. Kaya lang I was checking it, parang almost pare-pareha. So yun lang yung hindi ko ma-validate either who's the source or who's the copier. No, who's the Xerox machine. Anyway, so yun, I just hope na whenever you let others copy your work, make sure make sure that you let him or her understand your work or yung pinakopy mo sa kanya kasi you're not helping the person. You're actually you're actually pushing him or her na maging dependent on you. So mas maganda kung he will help na without sending all the codes. Parang yun yung na-observe ko sa inyo. So I just hope na I can meet all of you guys by next week. Especially I guess parang wala naman sigurong holiday. Kasi medyo konti lang yung mamimit ko by every Monday. Okay? Sige. Anyway, do you guys have questions? May mga questions po ba? Do you have anything to, like, sir, ayaw na lang pag video recording, sir, magkuha na lang ta. Was it helpful? Baka hindi, no? Ano yung mga gusto nyo for module 2 para may malaking success rate tayo for all of these people? Kasi parang ang napansin ko, ang daming INC. I tell you, check nyo yung BB nyo, ang daming INC. Parang majority yata na INC. Oo. Check nyo kung INC kayo. Anyway, it's still INC. That means I give you chance na ma-check or mas mausab, maano yun yung mga comments ko, no? Okay, so an INC unless it's IP kasi yung IP ang parang ano niyan is 3.0 na. So INC siya, pwede pa rin maging flat 1 yan. So I just hope na you will take the chance and take the chance sa binigay ko sa inyo na chance din. Take the chance sa binigay ko sa inyo na chance. Anyway, may mga questions? Issue lang sa BB sir, yung iba embedded na PDF di makita. Really? Try mo daw nag-login ka or sign in or baka yung browser mo yung ang kung Safari kasi parang di siya magwo-work pero kung sa Chrome magwo-work siya. Pero sige, I'll check. I'll double check this time sa module 2. Tingnan ko na kung hindi siya talagang ano. So, just in case meron, na-try ko sa ibang browser. Okay. Particularly, anong ano yon? Anong assessment yon? Okay. Anyway, just in case may mga PDF na it won't work as like viewable on your part, particularly din sa mga PowerPoint siguro, if it needs access, parang I guess may mga PPT ako na parang other section doon sa BB na naka-PPT or naka-attach. Yun, actually, it's the same content. So, instead of just viewing it, download nyo na lang. Oo, parang ganun. Sige lang, double check ko, King Age. Oo, i-double check ko. Double check. Yes. Tingnan natin, be. Tingnan ko para mas sure. Bakit Malaysia na ito? Malayan. Hold on for a moment, Malayan colleges. Mindanao, BB. Ultrasound. Ultrasound. Ito. Okay. I-download ko muna ito. Let me see. Wala. Nalimutan ko yung password. Kalimutan ko talaga. Wait. 4444. Supposed to be kasi dito. Check ko muna. Hold on for a moment. I just hope na wala Judy ay. Hihi. Ano pala yun? Kalimutan ko yung password. Sa PC ko kasi ano na siya. Auto login na siya. Nakalimutan ko guys. Sorry. Recorded ba ito, no? Anyway, wait. Ang tagal ng Safari mag-view, sana. Parang ayan. I'm there. I'm a hacker now, joke. Wait for a while. So parang andito na siya. Medyo mahina yung internet nila dito. Tingnan ko kung may na-upload na ako ng mga content for module 2. Dal. Malayan ka na. Ayun. E. So, mabagal. Wait lang ha. Ako na ni i-cancel. Uy. Naguna man. What the? Ayun, Blackboard. Learn. Sige. Whoever comes first. Password mo. Oo, pwede yan password mo. Para anyone can just go inside. Hina. Hina. Matagal. So slow. So weak. My goodness. Tingnan natin ha. Need to buy new device. Ito. Tingnan daw. M1 week 3. M1 week 3. Is it the same case sa inyo? Lahat? Talaga ba? Ay, baka it needs something na mag-top up kayo ng kailangan niya ng finances yan, kailangan ng investment. Pag ganyan, ang yung view. AJ, Hotar. Kailangan dapat may yan, send GCash automatic yan para mag-view. Anyway, sige, I'll check on it kung pero bakit ang bagal? Kaya pala putol-putol yung boses ko. Mhm. Mm. Goodness, ayan. Wow! Okay, baka tingnan natin ibang site eh. Baka class? Baka what you call this one? Mahina talaga. Kasi it's extracting day ngayon. So in that case, medyo baka we're having difficulty accessing the BB Learn kasi extracting day. So parang they're currently doing the extraction right now. Anyway, it's almost there. I can sense it. So A221, no? So A221. Actually, pwede pa kayo mag-snacks muna while waiting. Ayun. Sige, tingnan natin sana yon Module 1. Hindi ko pala na-view yung Module 2. Module 1 dito saan dito? MO4. Sige, if that's the case, this one. Ito ba yun? I'm opening two browsers. Yung isa Chrome, yung isa... ito. Ano nga ulit ito? Check ko yung... Baka na-delete. Or baka because I shared it, somebody has deleted it. This is... Anong file name ito? File name... Walang nakalagay. Sige, sige. Yun na nga, baka Bon, it needs finances, send GCash. Joke natin, sige, i-review ko lang sa mga module, sa module 2. Anyway, sa module 2 ninyo, I have it here already. So, tingnan natin kung may mga non-viewable items. Na-view ko na pala siya dito, pero hindi pa siya na-view from there. So, supposed to be dapat viewable na siya last time. Check natin. Dito sa video recording. Save password natin ito din. I'll need to prove na okay talaga yung ano. Just in case hindi. Actually, pag hindi siya okay, baka na-delete yung file if not accessible or naka-private pa, hindi siya naka-public. Anyway, just in case, i-review ko siya later before ko siya i-make viewable. Pero gina-try ko man kasi ito before giving it to you. Ay, ito na. O, di ba? Pugi kayo. O, joke lang. Okay, so it's actually there. Everything is there from here sa stock. Sa week 6, may ano na yan, may laman na yan lahat. I-ano ko lang sa inyo later on. I-make viewable ko lang. So only that, my fault, my bad, hidden from students yung main main learning content, pero yung mga the rest of week viewable na siya sa student. So yun yung medyo nag problem siguro. Anyway, so now, do you guys have any concerns or questions? Pagbigyan muna EJ. Ano yun si EJ, no? Unsa man ni? Hacker man. Okay, everyone. Can we guys have a pictorial para sa mga ninong, mga ninang o mga ninong o mga ninang na pictorial. Everyone, can you guys take a picture? Hey, you, picture tayo. Wala mo eh.
On cam, sir.
Sige, sige. On cam, syempre. Para makita na to kung sa mo sa inyong nasod ba. Oy, andun guys sa school? Wala kayong klase this afternoon? Wala? May naggamit sa lab? Meron, di ba? Wala. Sayang. Sige lang. Anyway. Sino yung kasama mo? Oy, Ablay. Muted ka. Muted. Sino yan? Boyfriend mo yan? 1, 2, 3, smile. Smile. Okay. So, naman lagi oo. Working siya sa ako. See? Von. Von, are you there? It's working. Look at it. Gets mo? Gets mo ba? Di ba? Von, it's working, Von. Look at it. See? It's working actually. So how it's not working? Working man siya, Bon. Bon. Single ka forever, di ka magtubag. Working siya, oy. Anyway, so I guess that's it. And yeah, working siya. So thank you guys for joining in and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye. So see you guys next week. And the only thing you can do for now is yung mga video recording lang talaga. So i-upload ko siya later on and just give me time to process it. And yung sa mga assessments nyo na ina-upload nyo sa Drive is i-check ko pa. But this time sa module 2, yun pala yung dapat i-elaborate ko. Let's practice not na submitting late our assignments kasi baka maging culture na yan ng MMCM pagdating nyo sa like whenever you work na tapos may mga deliverables na kailangan or task na ma-complete within a period of time na tapos naanad ta because of the culture of Mapua or MMCM, so baka we will get used to it. So better sana po next time. No, Bon, I'm actually telling you na working yung kanina na nasa working yung document kanina. Yung sabi mo na hindi viewable, ito man yun. Let's practice na please send this to your classmates na let's practice na within the week dapat matapos nyo yung task. Don't wait for other or 2 more weeks bago nyo pa kumpletuhin yung task. Okay? Okay. Wala sa imo gani, kulang gani kwarta, kulang cash, kailangan mag-send sa man jud. Okay, so sige, check lang nako unya. Tanaw nako kung usay problem ato why you don't have access to it. So thank you guys and have a great day. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye. All right.